Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Heat legend speaks on the greatness of prime Whiteside. Once LeBron James made his free agent departure from the Miami Heat to return to his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers, things looked bleak in South Beach. As Pat Riley has mentioned before, his master plan all came crumbling down so quickly. The creation of the James, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh Big Three was supposed to become a much longer-term dynasty in the NBA. Riley had to pivot in bringing in some other all-star caliber talent during that 2014 offseason by bringing in Luol Deng and eventually Goran Dragic. However, an unexpected talent emerged through the Heat's development system that same season in Whiteside. The Heat seemed to have found a diamond in the rough with Whiteside, who earned a spot through G League play after being cut by the Sacramento Kings. He brought a dominant big man presence to either pair with Bosh in the frontcourt and or play without him, due to Bosh's sudden blot clot situation. In Whiteside's first year in Miami, he averaged 11.8 points, 10.0 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks on 62.8% shooting across 48 games back in the 2014-15 season. Heat legend Udonis Haslem recently had Whiteside on his podcast, The OG Show, where Haslem spoke about the greatness of the up-and-coming big man at the time. "I played around some of the greatest centers, but they couldn't do what he did." This intriguing statement was in reference to Whiteside's triple-doubles with blocks back in the 2015-2018 seasons with the Heat. Some stat lines during those years from his performances include, his talent as a natural true center in this league was noticeable right out of the gate. The awareness he posed with the ability to provide elite rim protection defensively and finish at the basket was undeniable. For a Heat team that lacked a legitimate big for years prior, even forcing Bosh to slide to the 5 rather than his natural power forward position, the Whiteside find brought a new dimension. He would go on to lead the entire league in blocks, 3.7, with the Heat back in the 2015-16 campaign, and then follow that up with leading the league in rebounds, 14.1, the season after. There is a lot of talk surrounding Heat fans with the notion that once Whiteside got paid his max contract heading into the 2016-17 season, his effort changed in a negative way. As much as that could be true, there just isn't enough context to that conversation. The Bam Adebayo drafting in 2018 ultimately pushed Whiteside out of the starting lineup. His lack of basketball IQ and hunger after getting paid was an issue, but Adebayo's incredible potential himself at the same position also contributed to his tenure not working out. Once Jimmy Butler came into the picture, Whiteside's contract had to be sacrificed to have the necessary cap space. No matter how many people may disregard the insane talent during his Heat tenure after the way it ended, prime Whiteside was truly special. Number one option or not, Bam Adebayo just wants to help produce wins for Miami Heat. There have been talks about the Miami Heat becoming Bam Adebayo's team this season. They say it's time to make Adebayo the number one option. In reality, the only number one he cares about is seed. As in first place in the Eastern Conference standings at the end of the season. He just wants wins. "Listen, the biggest thing to me is winning," Adebayo told Miami Heat on SI. "If Coach Erik Spoelstra tells me, 'Look, you've got to be the number one option,' I'll put my hat on and be the number one option. I feel like being a number one option doesn't mean getting up the most shots. You've had guys like Lou Williams, who is the sixth man who probably had more shot attempts. Adebayo is coming off averaging 19.3 points, 10 rebounds and 3.9 assists last season in what was perhaps the finest of his 7-year career. After winning a second gold medal this summer in Paris, the only thing on his mind now is getting the Heat back to the NBA Finals. He came up short in both appearances, 2020-2023, so scoring is the least of his worries. For me, the number one option just means I've got to make sure everybody is in their right spots, right time, checking foul counts, Adebayo said. Just being aware of everything and not just worried about scoring. Miami Heat working with former first-round pick. The Miami Heat went through a rough offseason this summer. Things are getting worse for the Miami Heat. However, it's clear they are still interested in competing for a championship. The Miami Heat have their eye on a former first-round pick to add to the mix. According to his agent, 2014 first-round pick Bruno Caboclo is working with the Miami Heat. He said Caboclo is hopeful of an NBA contract and believes it will happen. He is training with the Miami Heat until Thursday with the intention of getting a contract. And he believes he will be successful, he told the Israeli sports channel. However, Hassan also mentioned that the Brazilian has an offer from Hapoel Tel Aviv and that it is an option on the table. At the same time he is in negotiations with Hapoel Tel Aviv, he added, confirming an offer presented by the Israeli club, "We are progressing on an agreement with Ofer Yinnai, owner. It's definitely an option on the table." Most recently, Caboclo played for Team Brazil during the 2024 Paris Olympics. With Brazil, he averaged 17.8 points with 69% shooting from the field and 57.1% from the three-point line. Additionally, he averaged 7 rebounds and 2 blocks per game. Caboclo initially entered the NBA after the Toronto Raptors drafted him with the 20th pick in 2014. At the time, Caboclo's selection seemed like a stretch. However, at the age of 19, Caboclo had a lot of potential. That never materialized for Toronto. Caboclo played parts of 4 seasons with the Raptors, appearing in 35 games and averaging 1.5 points and 1 rebound. During the 2017-18 season, the Raptors traded Caboclo to the Sacramento Kings. He took on a slightly larger role, but Caboclo still averaged just 2.6 points and 2.1 rebounds in 10 games. Caboclo joined the Memphis Grizzlies for the 2018-19 season, where he played his biggest role yet. He appeared in 34 games for the team, starting 19 of them. For the year, he averaged 8.3 points, 4.6 rebounds, 1.5 assists and 1 block. From 2019 to 2021, Caboclo also spent time with the Houston Rockets. However, he only appeared in 14 games in total for them. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Bruno Caboclo? Leave your opinion in the comments.